Trying to make sure I got everything. Give me 1 second, please. Give me 1 second. Come hang it with me. What's good? Come on through. Waiting on you. Suzanne up in here. Eddie Sean up in here. Lonnie up in here. Sharon up in here. China. Hey, Ellen. What's good? Come on through. Come on through. I tried to set this thing up. Hey, Miss Benfield. I tried to set this thing up on YouTube, but it wouldn't even let me start. So I'm like, never mind. Look, we'll figure that out on another day. How about that? Candy Carney in the building. Terentia in the building. Ardette is in the building. Rhonda is in the building. I got everybody up in here. What's good? Come on through. Yeah, I tried to set something up on the YouTube. They wouldn't let me be great, but that's okay. Look, hopefully, folks will get alerts saying, Coach is on. What's good, Rosie? Sharita. What's good? I got all my people up in here this evening. Let's talk about it. Lisa Tate in the building. Now, let me tell you why. Share this for me, please. Do me a favor, share. Share, because sharing is caring. We got an awesome message. We got an awesome group of people who make up the Brits. And I'm like, shoot, I got to share my people to the world because my people are awesome. You know what I mean? And this whole program, this whole movement is just awesome. So make sure you share, make sure you like, make sure you comment, talk to me, holler at me, and all that other good stuff. But let me tell you what got me here. Let me tell you, because I normally don't do anything on Thursday evenings. But let me thank you, Lonnie, for the share. Hey, Miss Jackson. But let me tell you what got us here this evening. I'm always getting awesome texts, right? Thank you, Tasha. I'm always getting awesome texts, right? From people all over the earth. And so, you know, I give out my number to everybody all over the planet. So I'll get hit up from everybody all over the planet. Look, I'm one of those dudes who on TV every day, but you wouldn't know it, and you wouldn't know it by the way I act. Because, you know, I'm just the type of person who just, you know, you give my phone number, just talk to you, holler at you, talk to you, make sure you're good. You know, like I ain't on TV every day. So I get a text today, right? And the text says, essentially, Coach, I have a question for you. And I was like, what's happening? She was like, okay, how do I get past my mental block of becoming successful? Period. I have a mental block of success, and I don't know how to get over that mental block. How do I get over that mental block? And I know a lot of people, like the young lady who texts me, who's my Brit. I know a lot of people who are afraid to succeed. You know, they get always, and if this is you, say you talking to me, Coach, always get to a certain point. Always get to a certain point. Okay? Always get to a certain point, but then go backwards. Okay? You get this close to finishing, and then all of a sudden, you self-sabotage. Okay? You self-sabotage. Then you start back over. Then it's like, okay, how do I get over the hump? How do I get past this? I know a lot of people who, you know, who get excited, then get crushed. It's like, I'm almost home, but now, and y'all probably do this and probably have done this in relationships too. Get this close to the commitment, then all of a sudden, you catch the L. You do something wrong. You say something wrong. You sabotage it. You're like, oh man, how did I do that? A lot of y'all like that. And I see a whole bunch of people saying, yeah, you talk to me, Coach. So that's why I decided to come on, because I was like, okay, let me address it, because I know she's not the only one who self-sabotages. And that was the point that I was making to her. I'm like, you purposely self-sabotage. I was like, but let's get down to the good. I said, you're not worried about success. You're worried about failure. That's what your attention is really on. You're not worried about being successful. You're not worried about having the body you want. You're not really worried about, having the relationship you want, or being rich, driving what you want. That probably doesn't keep you up at night. But that failure does. That ridicule does. Being deflated does. Feeling like you're a loser does. So I'm like, this is the point where you really got to be honest with yourself. It's not the success that you're so much worried about. It's the risk. It's the fear. It's the uncertainty that you could quite possibly get extremely excited only to be let down. And then how the devil messes with you is like this. The devil will sit on your shoulder and be like, you remember last time you got excited about something? You fell short. You remember you got excited about that dude and you told all your friends about him and you were excited about it, but he didn't call you no more. Remember him? Yeah. So before you get excited, I'm going to remind you of all of your past failures. So that causes you to shrink back and shrink up, and it causes you to contract and retreat. And that's why you never finish anything, because you're always being reminded of your past failures. But how you mask it is, I have a mental block of success. No. You listen, you listen and you flash back to all of your past failures, and that's what's costing you. It's not the success piece, it's the failure piece. Now, here's the good news. You're going to fail. You're going to fail. But here's what they didn't tell you. Failure is part of succeeding. You fail your way to success. You fail it. I mean, you fail. Now, the only way you can lose is if you quit. See, there's a difference between failing and quitting. Now, quitting is permanent. It's done. Failure means, okay, I tried something, it didn't work. I'm going to get up and I'm going to try again, and I'm going to keep trying until I get it right. And failure is a part of the success. I've had a lot of people fail at weight loss at first. Maybe they lost a whole bunch first week, didn't lose none second week, but they never quit. They just lost that week. And so what you have to understand is that this is how you have to look at life. Watch me on this one. This is how you have to look at life. Look at life like a football season. In a football season, you probably have 12, 13, 14 games. But have you ever in life heard of one team losing one ball game and canceling the season? That's how y'all live y'all life. You catch one L, you catch one loss, you catch one disappointment, and then devil talks to you and reminds you of your past stuff, and then you talk yourself out of your stuff, and you literally cancel your season. You cancel the entire season. That's the equivalent of the Georgia Bulldogs saying, you know what, we lost that first game, let's quit. Season canceled. I know you got tickets to come see us play all of these games, but we lost this one game. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to cancel this season. LeBron loses one basketball game during the regular season. Y'all know what? Y'all be good. I'm packing this thing back up. I'm good. But LeBron, you got 100 some odd games. Okay, that's good. That's okay. And I appreciate it. But we done lost this one game. And because we done lost this one game, I'm going to Michael Jordan, when Michael Jordan was playing. Oh, we lost one game. See, at some point, you just got to say, you know what? I'm going to accept the losses. I'm going to accept the failures. And I'm just going to be like, you know what? It's a part of it. You can't be one and done with something that you claim as your passion, especially if you really want it. You know, you really didn't want it that bad if it was so easy for you to quit on it. You didn't want that relationship. You didn't try hard for it. You know, you didn't want that body because you quit the first time you had a bad day. It's about how bad you want it. You gotta want that thing just as bad as you want to live and just as bad as you want to breathe. You gotta want it. So here's the good news. You're going to fail. But again, you failed before, you didn't die. You got disappointed, you didn't die. Somebody disappointed you. I'm sure, you know, there was a Christmas when you was expecting something when you were a child, you didn't get it, you didn't die. I'm sure there was a grade in school that you were expecting, you didn't get it. I know you didn't die. I'm pretty sure when that person walked away and left you, you know, you probably was heartbroken, but you didn't die. Probably, you know, I'm pretty certain that there was a job you wanted that you didn't get, but you didn't die. You know, probably had your, you know, heart set on a new car, and your credit score wouldn't allow you to get it, but you didn't die. Failing is a part of it, and when you can accept failing and that you're going to do it as long as you try, you gotta change your perspective on it, okay? Because then when you're able to accept failure, then you're able to gain access to the success. So stop lying to yourself and saying, I got a mental block of success. No, you have a massive fear of failure. And how do you get over massive fear of failure? Try more, try harder, try often. Have you ever had like a huge fear of something? It happened to you and you was like, oh, that wasn't that bad. Oh, that wasn't that bad. See, you got to get to that, oh, that wasn't that bad, so many times to where it doesn't even affect you or bother you anymore. You got to take the fear out of stuff by practicing and working on the things that you're constantly afraid of to where you take the fear out of it completely. You just like, shoot, well, what's up then? I'm sure there's something in your life that you've always been afraid of. It happened to you and you were like, dang, that really wasn't all that bad. This was a lot. I took this, and see, doing adversity, you find out a whole bunch about yourself. When you go through adversity and when you go through changes, sometimes when you're dealing with stuff that you're afraid of, sometimes you might gain a greater appreciation of your own strength because you never know what you're made of until you're tested. And then when you're tested and then you come out smelling like a rose, you're like, dang, I didn't even know I had that up in here. You don't have a mental block here. You're afraid, you're fearful. But again, on the other side of that fear is that success. So when you learn how to conquer that fear, you get to your success that much faster. Stop talking yourself out of stuff. It ain't gonna hurt. Look, fear does not hurt when you challenge it. Fear only hurts you when you run away from it and you try to avoid it. But when you face that thing head on, it's kind of like that bully that you were afraid of. That, you know, once you challenge that bully, they backed away because they were afraid because they thought that just selling wolf tickets was enough. Stand up to your stuff. Stop running away from your stuff and start facing your stuff. Because once you face your stuff and you have the attitude of let's go, you got it. And then you can get to your stuff a whole lot faster. Then you can win a whole lot more because, life is about winning. You hear me say this all the time. At the end of your day, ask yourself, did I win or did I lose? I tell people who I personally coach, like one-on-one coaching, I say at the end of the day, text me your grade. Did you get an A, B, C, D, or F? If you were to objectively look at how you performed today, what grade would you give yourself? And that's how you have to start looking at your life daily. You have to start grading yourself daily. You have to start critiquing yourself daily and asking yourself the question of, okay, And then you have to start thinking differently in terms of, instead of doing everything for everybody else, you have to start asking yourself this one question. Are the things that I'm doing today moving me closer to my goal, or is it moving me further away from my goal? That's what you have to start asking. That's what you have to start asking. So let me ask you this, and I'm going to bring somebody on. Who wants to come on and talk to me? Who has that same problem? You know, some people call it mental block. I call it blessing blocking, because you can't bless and block yourself and keep yourself away from your stuff just by always running away from versus running toward. Because when you run towards stuff, if you build up enough momentum, you actually can run through the stuff that you're actually afraid of. But if you always running away and you're always avoiding, because sometimes things in our minds, the more we run away from it and the more we don't challenge it, it expands and it grows and it ends up being bigger than what it actually is. So start facing your stuff. Stop running. Stop running. Because the further you run away, again, the more colossal that issue becomes. And then you don't want to fight it because now the shadows have become too big. Okay? So take the parking brake off. So for the beautiful lady who texts me, the question, that's your answer. You're not afraid of success. You're afraid of failure. But if you can change how you look at failure, and you can actually like failing. See, that's the thing. You got to like failing, but you also got to appreciate the fact that the more you fail, the closer you get to your stuff. So you just got to change your perspective on failure. You got to like failing, knowing that it's going to get you closer to your stuff. But if you don't try, you ain't got to worry about failing, because you'll never achieve what you're supposed to, because you don't try. Because you're scared, you're fearful, you're doubtful, you're uncertain. Versus the person who tries, catches the L, says, you know what, I'm going to get back up a whole lot faster this time. I'm going to adjust here. I'm going to adjust there. I'm going to look at myself. I'm going to see what I need to do. Boom, I'm back at it again. Versus letting one shot to the gut defeat you. Always that one punch. That one punch knocked me out the game. You're stronger than that, y'all. You're bigger than that, and you're stronger than that. Let me see. Let me read some stuff. Okay. That's what you gotta do. You just gotta face some stuff. So thank you for hanging with me. I just said, look, and if you have any questions that you'd love for me to address, because I love coming up here and I love talking to you about stuff like that, because I always know that if one person is going through it, I know there's probably a few hundred of you going through the same thing. So I always like to address stuff and talk about it, because again, I know a lot of y'all going through the same stuff, and I know it's never one person who's going through it. So I'm like, shoot, look, let's have a family meeting and let's talk about it. How about that? And also, again, congratulations to my girl Anjali, who done lost 70 pounds. And I left that broadcast up earlier. It's the noontime edition, so you can go back and see that too. She's so awesome, incredible, and amazing. She's lost 70 pounds. I'm giving her a photo shoot. I'm having the beautiful and the wonderful Drexina Nelson shoot her. And Drexina has had everybody from, she shot everybody from Idris Elba, Kanye West, every single housewife, from Nene, Candy, Portia, Cynthia, every single last one of them, Brandy, Monica, Tiny, Toya, everybody, T.I. And so it's going to be an awesome shoot. I'm giving her a shoot, and I'm also giving Lara, who has lost 143 pounds, a photo shoot, and it's going to be epic and amazing. So congratulations to those beautiful ladies. Well deserved. So I'm up out of here, but I love y'all. Look, come back and see me in the morning, and thank y'all for hanging. Love y'all extremely. Look, get you some rest and think about beautiful and positive things, and know that there's nothing that's in your path. Like, look, sometimes you just have you got to have that conversation of, you know what? I'm more than a conqueror. So, and let me leave you with this too. Sometimes you got to lean on those good old Bible verses. I'm more than a conqueror. What? Philippians 4:13. I can do all things. It's not some things. Sometimes you just got to remind yourself of God's promises. And that's one thing that I always do. Look, anytime I start to feel myself getting a little bit stressed, I lean on God's promises. And sometimes I'm just like, okay, God, here you go. Boom, I'll let you have it. I ain't even gonna think about it no more. I'm just gonna let you have it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even gonna lean on my own understanding. Boom, I'm just gonna, hey, you got it because you bigger than me and you know all the answers. So I'm just gonna hand this thing on over. I'll be over here if you need me. But as the song goes, the battle is not yours. It really is the Lord. So sometimes you just have to say, you know what, Lord, here you go. I'm going to acknowledge you in all my ways, and I'm going to hand this thing on off. Versus always trying to be Conan the Barbarian, being some kind of superhero. While all of the rest of the people out there trying to fight every battle of their kids, and always trying to step in the gap for everybody else. And no, Lord, you can have this. Father God, you can have this. Holy Spirit, you can have this too while you at it. Boom, I will be over here versus trying to fight every battle. Because the strongest thing you can do is not fight at all. The strongest thing you can do is just hand that thing off versus trying to fight. You're not built for all that pressure, all that stress, and that strain. You're here to prosper. You're here to be on purpose, but I can't be on purpose if I'm always entangled into everybody else's stress and mess. That's when you got to leave that stuff alone and just hand stuff over. So when people come against you, people try you, and people try your children, and this, that, and the other, boom, hand that thing on off versus always trying to battle everybody, because everybody does not deserve your attention. Everybody doesn't deserve all of that stress. Everybody doesn't deserve to sit at your table. But you give your attention to everybody like they're all like, it's just huge and colossal, and you give energy to stuff that's so small. You make things bigger just by giving more energy to it. Guarantee you, half of the stuff that you give energy to, if you don't give it energy, it just shrink back up and it just fly on away. Just shrink on up. But the more energy you give it, the bigger it gets. It's not important. And some of the people that you give your energy to and stress to, they only big to you. Talk to somebody else about that person that you be sweating all the time. They like, you worried about that? Yeah, is that who you worried about? The only person that they're important to is you, because you give them all that energy. Stop giving people your energy. Stop giving people your time. Stop giving people your attention, because again, the stuff that you give your attention to grows, but the things that you don't give your attention to will die. So if you're giving your attention to something that doesn't deserve your attention, it swells up and it grows. But your purpose, the reason why you're here, your dreams, your aspirations, stuff you're not paying attention to, the stuff you're not giving your energy to, guess what happens to that? It dies. How sad would it be for you to come to the end of your life and you didn't fulfill your purpose for being down here because you was over there fooling with him, chasing him, wondering why he don't love you, wondering why he don't love you, wondering why he didn't, marry you. You done had kids with this person. Why did you over there worried about stuff? But meanwhile, your purpose is like, hey, what about me? Hey, I'm still over here. Your attention over there. You're easily distracted. Again, you'll hear me say this all the time. You are a pop star, a POP, a person on purpose. Fulfill your purpose, fulfill your destiny, fulfill your dreams, get everything that's been laid up for you. But again, you got to stay here long enough to get your stuff. Be willing to stay here and not over there, and always into everybody else's stuff and worried about this and worried about the wrong things. You got stuff to do. And again, you're on the clock. You don't have all day to be wasting time on people who don't deserve your attention, chasing after people, hoping people. And you know what? A lot of times, and I'm saying this, I'm gonna leave you alone. A lot of times we waste time on people who don't acknowledge our awesomeness and don't acknowledge our greatness. And let me tell you a man's secret. That's what we do to try to keep you. Because we understand for some of y'all, especially if you're a woman of pride, who have, that mentality of how dare he not acknowledge my greatness? How dare he have the audacity to not like me and not want me? What's wrong with me? Ain't nothing wrong with me. So you go chase after people, and it's a game for a lot of people, because we understand that as men about y'all, that sometimes you chase after stuff, not because you want it, but because it's more of a challenge, because maybe you're getting a little bit older and you still want to prove you got it. Meanwhile, you done wasted 1, 2, 3 years of your life, maybe a child, trying to convince people this, that, and the other, and your destiny and your purpose is sitting like this, just waiting on you to make a move on it and to do something. But meanwhile, you over there chasing something, trying to prove something to somebody, and I'll show you. And again, your destiny and your purpose still sitting here on the couch like this, waiting on you. Stop living like that. Stop living like that. That ain't no way to that ain't no way to live, especially when you are a woman of a certain caliber. If people don't get it, that's cool. Because not everybody's gonna get you. But why you over there chasing people who don't get you? Your destiny is like still sitting on the couch. You ever see somebody sitting on the couch who ready to go? Maybe looking like this. You over there having a good time, mingling, but your purpose and your destiny sitting on the couch like this, waiting on you, waiting to go. And here's the thing about purpose and destiny. If you don't fool with it, it's going to fool with somebody else. True story. If you're not using your gifts and you're not using your talents, your gifts and your talents will go somewhere else, to somebody who will use the gifts and the talents. Don't use something. You're blessed and you're gifted in certain areas, but because you're over there chasing stuff, your stuff sitting like this, it's sitting just like this. Have you ever just seen somebody who done sat too long? Have you ever seen somebody who done sat too long? They're like this, they're looking at this stuff, and then they just do this. Shoot, I'm gone. That's what your purpose and your destiny gonna do if you don't use it. You need to have that conversation. Look, with your purpose and your destiny, apologize to your purpose and your destiny and say, you know what? I'm sorry. I've been over here I've been over here way too long. All right, let's go. Boom. And that's what's up. So love y'all. Have a great evening. Look, come back and hang out with me tomorrow. Somebody, I need you as my coach. You got me as your coach. DM me. I would love to help you. Look, because again, I love making people better, and I love making you look at stuff a little bit differently. Because as one of my favorite coaches always says, sometimes you can't see the picture when you're inside the frame. So that's what I do. I give you a different way of looking at your life and looking at your situation, because a lot of people, A, in your life, A, don't care, or B, kind of glad that you're in the situation that you're in because it makes them feel better about their lives. Nobody's going to say, hey, you're underperforming. You can do better. I'm expecting more from you. You don't have people in your life telling you that. But I show up every day to be like, hey, you're doing good, but you can do so much better. You're shorting yourself. You're shorting me. You're shorting the people around you. You can do better. That's what I do. I try to get the best out of you. I try to get the most out of you. And I try to bring that funk every day to you. Because again, I want you to do awesome and I want you to become. You're in the process of becoming who you're destined to be. But sometimes you need somebody like me just to reel you back in. Just in case you kind of drift a little bit. Because again, the devil stays busy. But here's the beauty of life. You got God, you got you, you got devil. As long as you can always remind yourself that the natural order is God, you, devil, because he's the one who got kicked out. You good. But whenever you start giving power to something that you're greater than because your strategy is wrong and you don't see things the way they're supposed to be seen, then you can become, sidetracked. And you'll always hear me say, the devil can't destroy you, but he certainly can delay you. And again, you're on the clock. You're always on the clock. Again, the devil can't destroy you, but the devil can delay you. Again, you are on the clock. Stop having your destiny and your stuff and your gift sitting like this. And tell it to come on. That's what's up. So I love y'all. Come see me in the morning. Look, we're going to get better together. Have a great night. Love each and every single last one of you. Be good.